Hey guys, my name is Alicia Wilson, and on today's Black Beauty Chat, we have an amazing guest, Tashara Parker. She's going to be talking to us about her new cosmetic line, Loud Beauty. Let's check it out. All right, Miss Parker, I'm so glad that you are here with me and to talk about your new beauty line. Tell me more about the Loud Beauty and what inspired you to transition from news to a beauty entrepreneur.
So I always like to tell people, and first and foremost, thank you again for just offering your platform and to tell this story of the work that we're doing. And I love the work you're doing. You all over, okay? You making sure our stories get out there.
Yes,
So,
ma'am.
from a standpoint of going from newsroom into kind of this beauty entrepreneurship, for me, it was a transition that was necessary for me. I always wanted to do something entrepreneurial, and when you're a journalist, there are a lot of things that you have to be very careful when it comes to making sure there's no conflict of interest and just making sure that you're able to do your job while also doing whatever it is that your desires are from a standpoint of if there's anything entrepreneurial. So for me, when I made the transition, and I hate saying transition sometimes because I always want to make sure that I am still letting folks know that I'm still here telling stories, right? We just telling stories in a different way. And so when it comes to beauty, as you know, and maybe some that will hear this, when it comes to beauty, I have always been somebody to defy norms, to do things different, to shatter glass ceilings, so to speak, when it comes to how we show up in different spaces. And as a TV news anchor, one of the things that I did as it relates to hair and beauty is try to make sure that we can show up as who we are, whether that's with our natural hair, whether it's with braids, whatever that looks like to you and whatever beauty looks like to you, because we've been so confined to these spaces. And so I kind of just took that idea of what beauty is and transitioned that into the entrepreneurial arena. And I just really wanted it to be something where everyone felt like they were welcome, but also where they understood that beauty is all about what you believe it to be. And so that was kind of the natural transition for me. And again, I hate to say transition, but it was really just something that I wanted to lean into more as an entrepreneur.
Now, I have to ask you, what is your must-have color from the collection? Because I'm gonna tell you that red lipstick, the red, it made me feel like that old school Carmen Diaz,
Yeah.
Carmen,
Yes.
and I've always, and when it comes to colors, black women are not always encouraged because I have a clear, I have a brown, I have a pink, and then for a while you would see on TV black women doing different colors, but then we would get criticized. And what I love
Yep.
about your line that you didn't stop, like that is a bold red.
I
And I was
love
like,
that you
ooh.
mentioned the red, and I love that you mentioned I did not stop. And so the name of that red is stopping traffic. Because that's what we're trying to do. Okay. And for those who don't know, I was a morning news anchor, but also I was a traffic anchor, right? That was part of the role and the job that I did. And so stopping traffic was a natural transition because look, when I was on the TV screens, I used to slay that TV screen day in and day out. I was going to give you this information, but I was also going to let you know that I was in the building. And so stopping traffic is the red tone color. One of my other favorites is Anchor Bay. And Anchor
Ooh.
Bay comes from, again, being in the TV news industry. We often didn't wear really bold colors. And that Anchor Bay color is like, it's a reddish tone, but it's like a dark red, almost like a maroonish color. And I was like, baby, if you're going to come in and you're going to be Miss Anchor Bay, you're going to sit up there and you're going to make it happen. That's from the newsroom to the boardroom, whatever that looks like for you. And so for me, to your point, when it comes to black women, especially darker skin tone black women, oftentimes we're told like, don't wear certain colors, don't wear the bright colors. I got an orange lipstick on right now and I look just fine. Okay.
You
And
do,
so
you
I
do.
always, I always tell people like, look, you show up as who you are. And that's really the genesis of why this was started, right? The idea, so to speak, of why this was started, making sure that we can show up as who we are without the expectations of what society deems to be the right thing to do.
Yes, and so, and you really hit on it, like dark skinned women are not encouraged to wear colors, and to see you pushing yourself more out there and being vulnerable and saying, yes, you can wear these colors. Yes, you do look nice. It really brings a staple to the beauty industry because you don't always get that view, or that it gets
Mhm.
pushed to the back. So I
Right.
really do love that. And I do love the bold colors. A lot of our readers know you for going viral for your natural hair and
Yeah.
building a brand about it. What made you just start? What made you decide to start with lips?
Oh, that is such a good question. And that was so hard for me because initially I was like, okay, well, do I do something hair related or do I do something beauty related? I have always been told, since being in this industry, in the news media industry, one misconception a lot of folks have is that when you're on TV, you have a makeup artist. And so when I started dispelling that on TikTok and on Instagram and showing people that I was up doing my makeup at 2 o'clock in the morning so that I can be ready for the morning news, everybody was like, girl, you're good at that. You're really good at it. And so I started to enjoy showcasing the behind the scenes of putting my makeup on. And I really started to enjoy just the experience of it. And so that's why I chose to go with cosmetics as opposed to starting with something that was hair related. Because honestly, I don't like people to know what's coming. That's just me. And so I feel like hair would have been an easy transition. Now, that's not to say it ain't coming or ever won't come. Okay. But it just wasn't something that I wanted to start with. So cosmetics became that avenue that I ended up going into. But that's a great question because a lot of people have asked me something very similar.
Because I'm not going to lie to you. I was going to ask, do you see yourself expanding into the hair space? Or is that something that you just, like you say, you want to keep us on your toe, on our toes about it?
So I will say this: there are no current plans to vamp up. There are no current plans, so to speak, to have something right now. I really want to lean into this beauty space because I enjoy it so much, and I love the different ways that we can help women feel beautiful. I have so much in store for this brand and for this line to continue utilizing the stories of men and women, and really pushing the culture forward. Because I think oftentimes, even in beauty, yes, we have a lot more representation now, but honestly, after 2020, maybe 2021, 2022, they kept it going. But it seems like a lot of them DEI policies and a lot of that DEI work that a lot of businesses at one point were really excited about, it seems like we're kind of being left in the background again. And we're used to it, but we don't want to get used to that, okay? Because that's not how it should be. So I'm really looking to continue pushing what we're doing in this beauty space. And again, I can't write off something like that, but right now we're still in the cosmetics, and we're gonna stick with this for a while.
I can respect that answer. I'll be on the lookout for it because I'm not gonna lie. When I saw that you were doing something, I was like, oh, it's hair products and hair products.
Right.
And then when I saw lips, I was like, wait a minute.
Wait
Well,
a
maybe this
minute.
might be something. This might really be something. And then when I saw the colors and I saw the names, I said, okay, she's in her zone. Maybe it's
Yeah.
not because we think that's her area of expertise, but you are right. Because I was one of the first people that saw you go Instagram live, do TikTok, and you were
Mhm.
doing your makeup, and you did break that theory that, oh, you have a makeup artist and they're doing your
Right.
hair in the morning. And it was another side of seeing the people on the news
Yep.
not perfect, because that's
Yeah.
how you have always been displayed. So I would say I did really did enjoy your
Thank
makeup
you.
journey, because it
Thank
really
you.
kept me on my toes. I was like, man, she up that early? That's
That early, baby. That morning news shift. Ooh, honey. 2 o'clock in the morning every day.
I'm not. So you tell me you have a good relationship with your bed now? Y'all
Yeah.
not breaking up as much as y'all used to. That's basically what you're telling me. Y'all have a really good
Very much
relationship.
that. It's so crazy because I can't remember a time that I would really get 8 hours of sleep, and if I did, it was an anomaly, right? Like it wasn't normal to get 8 hours, 6 hours of sleep. Honestly, like that wasn't a normal occurrence. So now I try to make it a point to make sure I'm getting 6 to 8 hours of sleep every single night. And if I don't, I'm like, oh no, we ain't doing that. But imagine not getting any rest for basically 5 years, almost 5 years straight, right? Because working at overnight shift, I would always be so afraid and have so much anxiety that I would miss my alarm clock. And so I would be waking up in the middle of the night. It was never like a full on sleep, right? Because I will wake up trying to figure out, like, oh, did I miss the alarm? I would have 5 and 6 alarms set. And so I think that's the part of it that people don't really talk about, how those third shifts, and I know a lot of people work them in a lot of different industries because we need the work that's being done overnight. But I just think that's something people don't talk about. And you got to be on. When you on TV, you got to be on. And so when I would get up and do that makeup on TikTok and Instagram, I felt like it gave me kind of an outlet too, because I was able to interact with people and have a good time and really wake myself up for 30 to 45 minutes while I'm on there talking to you guys early in the morning. So yeah, that shift can be tough. Absolutely.
I appreciate you because there were some mornings I had to get up that early. And when I saw, I was like, I felt it was that connection to be like, you know what? It's not so perfect over there. It's not so perfect over here. And we can connect through why are we up right now? And
Correct.
so that was just the greatest connection. I do want to ask you, what does Black beauty mean to you?
Oh, that is such a good one. Okay. Black beauty to me means owning who you are and the beauty that each of us possess. I think oftentimes society tries to paint this picture, especially in a day of, I'm gonna go ahead and say it, the IG models that look a certain way, and that way is not like a lot of us, and it paints this picture of what we should aspire to be. And I'm not saying that that's something that everybody is thinking, but when you see that, on repeat on your IG feed or on your TikTok, on your social media, or when you're going into meetings, etc., um, it's just like we've forgotten what it means to show up as who we are and to own each level of our own beauty, whether that's makeup less, no makeup at all, whether you said you have a quick little clear lip gloss, whatever it is, we've forgotten what that looks like for each individual person. And I think when it comes to identity and expressing who you are in the Black beauty space, um, in my opinion, I think it's all different. No one has one meaning of what Black beauty is. And I think Black beauty at its core is just owning who you are when you walk into any space.
So we're just going to go a little bit deeper. And I wanted to ask you, how do you see your Black business impacting the conversation around Black beauty?
Yeah, I think when it comes to Black beauty, the most important thing for me is making sure that every person has a voice and feels like they're appreciated and that their beauty is appreciated. There are so many conversations about skin tone, lip colors, just all these different things and what does or does not look right on, especially darker skin tone Black women and men. Again, I know a lot of us are wearing makeup, and so I just want to make sure that as we enter into these spaces that we understand that I want to give a voice to people who felt like they didn't have a voice for a long time. Again, everyone is accepted, everyone is appreciated. And when you walk into a room when it comes to Black beauty, just remembering that you own that space. Like whatever Black beauty means to you, to each individual person, that's what I want to uplift. That's what I want to amplify. That's what I want to magnify. When I came up with the name Loud, for the brand, I also have an organization called Loud Women Lead, my nonprofit. And part of what I do with that organization is I help to amplify voices of women who felt, long overdue for expressing themselves. And I help them tell their stories. Loud Beauty is truly an extension of that, meaning that when it comes to women telling their stories, they're going to be telling it through beauty in the best way that they know how, right? They're not waiting for somebody to help them tell that story. So we're hopefully going to be an avenue where people can continue to tell those stories. This time we're just doing it through the beauty industry.
And so I have to ask you, because
Yeah.
I'm getting new into the lip game. My best friend, she's perfect with outlining her lips. It stays all day. How do you do it? Do you outline your lip? Is there a lip combo? How do you put on the perfect lip combo?
So I will say that one of those colors that you mentioned earlier, stopping traffic, the red, the really bright red tone that you mentioned, with that one, I don't line anything. Let me not say that. I don't use anything else to line my lips. I just simply put the lipstick on, and with the lipstick applicator, of course I'll go around, but I don't use a separate liner or a separate lipstick when I'm just wearing that color. And so that's one of those colors that you don't really need anything. Now, if you're trying to, in my opinion, go into that kind of nude space with the browns and all that kind of stuff, Then of course I think that you'll need a liner, and then you'll put a little something in the middle. And so this is kind of one of our, not kind of, this is our newest color. The name of the color that I'm wearing right now is called Candied Yams.
Oh,
If you know, you know. It's called Candied Yams, and the liner that I use is also one of our newest products. It'll be dropping in 2 days. Maybe I
ooh,
shouldn't say a time frame, but it'll be dropping soon. And it's called Universal Truth. And what I mean by, so the names all have meanings. We're not just coming up with names, just throwing them out there. The universal truth themes, number one, comes from a standpoint that you really only need one good brown liner, and it can go with a whole lot of different colors. And so
okay.
that's what I'm wearing today. And universal truth comes from my journalism background, of course, making sure that in all things we do as a journalist, we always seek the truth and try to prevent harm from those who prevent harm in general from those whose stories that you're telling. And so that's where the name came from. And it's like a nice cocoa brown color. And you can
Ooh.
utilize that if you wanted to around that red color that I mentioned to you. And then again, this is our newest one, this kind of orangey peachy tone. And it is called Candy Yams. So yeah.
I'm excited for it. I'm definitely gonna try out the lip combo because, like I said,
Yeah.
I'm starting to get away from just the clear. Now, my mom, she's known for purple. She can do red, purple, green. Like
Mm.
she's in there, but she is known for purple. Like they be
Mhm.
like, "Did you see the lady with the purple lips?" I was like, "Yes, that's my mom. She went there."
Aw.
So she is known for it. So she's very excited for your line. But I
Oh,
want to say,
yay.
is there anything else that you want people to know about your beauty space? Like, is there, because I know you've been talking about the meanings and everything, and we never get why somebody did it or the story behind it. Is there just
Right.
something deeper that you want people to understand, that every time they pick up something of yours, that is just like seeing you on the news? Is that connection that you're giving us?
So one of our slogans that we have right now, and it can be taken a lot of different ways, but one of our slogans that we have is "Put us on your lips, we'll do the talking." And
Ooh,
so again, the name Loud has this idea that you're using your voice to be loud. Now, while that can be one piece of it, what I want people to know and what I want people to feel is that, baby, just by you putting on that lipstick, your day done already got better. And so when you ask me, does that remind people of me being on the news? Yeah, because when I was on the news, so many people will write in and still write in telling me, you make my day better just by showing up being you. So if I can do that by way of Black beauty, by way of lipstick, hey, we gonna do it and we gonna make it happen. So I want you to put us on your lips. We gonna do the talking, but also just remember that once you put that lipstick on, you already feeling better. It's just something about it that feels good.
yes, and thank you so much for taking the time out. And
Yeah.
you have always had a connection with the community, and I'm so glad I got to interview you and get the story and to really know that every time you name something, it's a different connection to you, and
Oh
that
yeah.
there's a story behind it. And you don't really get to know that with products. People just name stuff and they throw it out there, and to you, it's, you have a meaning and you have a
Absolutely.
purpose behind your beauty line. And I'm so excited for it. I'm definitely getting that lip line.
Yes.
I'm
You
gonna
gotta
put
send
it
me your
on.
address so we can get you some.
Of course. And thank
Yes.
you so much for stopping by and talking to us. And I can't wait to see what's next.
Thank you.